Oh, it's raining outside. I didn't notice. Well, I fucking did, because it's going out there. It's really good, actually. I like this. I like this sort of thundery days, because you never know. I'm just sitting in the car at the moment, but I'm drinking, so I'm not gonna be in a fit state to drive anybody or anything home. So but it's all right because I'm by the tracks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish drinking, and then I'm going to go outside the car and have a piss. No, before that, though, I'm going to speak to you people about the latest scandal. If we can survive this, and then afterwards, I've got a choice. I can go and have a three pieces of chicken and chips, or else I can have a McFlurry. I like some McFlurry. Oh, I do. You know that one with caramel, M&Ms, and the Oreo, because Oreos is very, very European, and you know, English people, we're not too into them, but you know, I like them from time to time, and my wife likes them, so I've got to put up with them from time to time, and they're all right. But we do a really cheap English biscuit called a bourbon, which is, you know, it costs a fraction of these Oreos, and it's bloody delicious. Not to mention, while I'm talking about English biscuits, if you haven't tried a jammy dodger, you haven't lived. And not to mention, it's got a smiley face, so it make you happy whilst you're munching it. It's like the gingerbread man, you know, when you're eating his legs and everything, and you expect him to sit there with a smile on his face. He's not. He's just brave. Anyway, so should we get to the important subjects which you've come here for tonight? So I think the biggest outrage this week is Andrew Bono, fucking Pope Pius XVI Dixon, right? Who's trying to finish the war off by actually killing people. Yeah, well, I see he's fundraising for the fucking Ukraine-Russian war going on. Now, the thing is, if your country's been invaded, probably the worst thing you can do is actually try guerrilla warfare. Because do you know why? Do you know why? Because every army in the world hates it, all right? And every army in the world will react in a vicious way against it. Now, different countries, different levels of viciousness. I mean, we could have invaded Dublin when the IRA was at their worst, but we chose not to because we're a civilized country, right? But there is other countries, and their problems ain't got nothing to do with us. You don't understand. Andrew Dixon doesn't understand the politics of Ukraine and Russia. He doesn't. I don't understand them, but I've got a pretty good idea because I've been doing a little bit of research on it. And it's quite complicated, but it's not something that involves Northern Europeans, to be honest with you. It doesn't involve Americans. It doesn't involve Chinese or Middle Easterns. It's between these two regions, I said, yes. And they've got to work it out. You can't, if you raise one single fucking penny and you say, oh, well, this is going to the Red Cross. Well, say the Red Cross sees a Russian soldier with his leg blown off, and then he says, oh, fuck this, I'm being paid by the Swiss and Andrew Dixon, I'm going to leave that cunt dying in the road, but there's a Ukrainian over there who's cut his finger, we better put him in the ambulance. Do you know what I mean? So what you're paying for is this kind of thing, and if you're paying for guerrilla warfare, do you know what happens? You know, there's a lot of shooting coming. Oh, where's the nearest village? Bang, 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 there goes your mum and your sister. Yeah, these are the unfortunate side effects of war. You think you're out there being a hero, but you're not. You're actually causing big problems when your nearest and dearest get taken into the market square and shot. Yeah, and who's to say it won't happen? Because we haven't seen it since we won the war. Do you know what I mean? Because we helped make us all live the way we live today. But now Andrew Dixon's interfering, like Bob Geldof and he's making things 50 times worse. I think you raised 200 US English pounds, didn't you, Andrew Dixon, at the end of the night? That's 200 pounds. How many is that? If that is 200 pounds, but that is 2,000 bullets. 2,000 bullets you've bought. You know, and if there's a kill rate of a sniper, man, that's 2,000 dead people you're responsible for, Andrew Dixon. Will you stick your fucking beak out of this? And you know what? This is the sort of progressive, annoying middle class we've got at the moment in England. They don't fucking look. They just read the headline in the newspaper, whatever side the newspaper says is right. Oh, yes, something must be done. You go and fucking read a book, Andrew Dixon. Do you know what? I did some research on him, and I'm not stalking you, Andrew Dixon. Here comes the thunder. Right. I'm not stalking you, Andrew Dixon, but because you're a public figure, I'm entitled to research you, and I have researched you. And I found out that well, I'm not going to say what your job is, but I know that you are doing all right. Do you know what I mean? You are making money, but you ain't the fucking chief fucking head of police commissioner of East Yorkshire Police. So thank God for that. So that's all right. But you have still got power in the community, so I'm going to be a bit careful about you. But listen, I will tell you as an Englishman, stick your fucking beak out, all right? Keep your beak out. It's none of your fucking business. You are not helping anybody. If you want to be helpful, go and admit what you are. Admit where you come from. Admit what you're up to. Because we all need to know. Now, let me see. Is there any comments? No comments at all. And there's 8 people watching. What's the matter with you people? Don't you want to talk to me during this stormy time? No, I know what it feels to be God. Oh, here it comes. I didn't mean that, God, by the way. Just in case, you know what I mean? Can you hear it? Can you hear the storm? Oh, if I was in a haunted house right now, I'd be shitting my pants. I would. Hey, you know what I mean? If I was in the old dark house with you, Melinda, and you know, in that film, they're all drinking loads because they just lifted prohibition. So everybody's having a drink. And of course, what you would have, because you'd have a little holster, because you're a lady who's used to smuggling a bit of a zip around with you because of the prohibition, but you've still got your little holster, your female holster. Now, what would you have in that, Melinda? Would you have, because remember, you're talking 1920s, so you'd be a bit of a flapper. You could either have gin, I think you could have vodka. I think you could have vodka in them days, or you could have that cheap hooch. Now, I think you'd be happiest with the, I think you'd be happiest with a bit of cheap hooch, actually, because, you know, it's American product. But you haven't lived to, I mean, I hope that your husband has got, been the educated Ivy League type horse riding bloke that he is. I hope that he's got, you know, a fine drink selection with Gordon's gin. It's got to be Gordon's gin. And you really, I mean, I know Smirnoff's not the best vodka, but it is the vodka to have. You know what I mean? All right, let me just close this old window. All right. Now, I'm going to try and talk hands-free for a minute, so let me know. Oh, here comes a big thunderclap Newman. All right. Oh, hello, Frederick. Can you hear the storm outside? Oh, 2 virgins, yeah. Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to put comments underneath Fred's comment, then go ahead. It's a little bit noisy. Actually, can you hear me all right? Because I don't want the thunderstorm drowning my voice out. So you've all heard what I think about Andrew Dixon. Forget pretty girls make graves. Andrew Dixon makes graves. He's responsible for the genocide of the Ukrainians and the Russians. So, do you know what I mean? It's just, it's terrible. Keep your beak out of international politics, fucking Andrew Dixon. Who the bloody hell do you think you are? Eh? Honestly, do you know what he reminds me of? That bloke on, what is it? What's that really corny space film where that Martian lands on Earth and he takes the people prisoners and they've still got like high heel shoes and boots on when they land in an extraterrestrial place? Oh, I can't remember. Who cares? Who cares? It worked Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, though. Oh, that's a good film. I haven't seen that for years. Brilliant. They've got babes. They had a blonde. They had a brunette. They had Patrick Troughton. They had John Wayne's son, for fuck's sake. He can't act or nothing, but he's handsome man. Handsome man. Handsome does a lot in these films. And they should have had Doug McClure in it, but they didn't. And they've also got badly dubbed woman, which is really good. You must kill him, Minotaur. I love that. I love it. I'll tell you what. You 10, you'll all be saying, oh, I must go and have a look. Have I got Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger? And you say, fuck, I haven't got it. Well, better go out and bloody buy it, haven't I? Right now. And have you noticed, I am a tiger at the moment, but I'm not the Eye of the Tiger. Oh, yeah, that brilliant, wasn't it? Ray Harryhausen and that monster. What was he? A troglodyte. He was a troglodyte, wasn't he? Yeah, oh, I felt ever so sorry when he died. Felt really sorry. But this is Mandela effect. Did I go and see that film with my younger sister, or did I see it with somebody else? I don't remember. But I think I saw it twice because I saw it at the ABC Miners too, which I got in for 15p. 15p. It's all right. That's not bad. If you're talking 50p, you're talking... you know, 50p was a lot of money back in the mid-70s. Anyway, no, it didn't cost me nothing because I wasn't paying for nothing because I was just a child. I was just a boy giving it all away. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I hope the storm gives me superhuman powers. And I've got some historical news that I just found out today, because I don't know if you're interested or not interested, but I saw this. I've been watching these railway videos. And hello there, Michael. Yeah, so I've been watching these railway videos about English railways and everything, London especially. And it's so interesting. This is ever so good. And one of the videos was called Give My Regards to Broad Street. And I'm thinking, oh, right, okay, yeah, Broad Street Station, remember that? Anyway, to my horror, to my outrage, to my utter disappointment, I realised after I finished watching it, they knocked it down. It's just a block of flats now. Broad Street is no longer. Broad Street didn't even outlast Paul McCartney's film by 2 years. Isn't that heartbreaking? Isn't that heartbreaking? I mean, you cannot go and have a photo outside now, John Heaton. That's it. Andrew Dixon, if you travel south, you cannot, in your spaceship, you cannot get to Broad Street now, not unless you've got a time machine attached to your spaceship. So, you know, bad news for all of us. And everybody knows this. Everybody knows this about... You know your Please Please Me album cover when they're in the modern block of flats. Wow. Yeah, we all learned to hate them. But anyway, this was Manchester Square, as you all know, I expect. And guess what? They knocked it down a few years back. So you can't have your photo there like that. But what you can do is you can get in touch with me and I can give you a blank staircase so you can put yourself up there. With a bit of digital, or I can do it for you, you know what I mean? You don't have to give me much money. As they say, you just got to buy me a cup of coffee, and a cup of coffee costs 30 quid each forever, for the rest of your lives. So think about it. But I know you've got enough money. I know you have, and just think you're doing the orphans of Ukraine the world of good, especially the black ones. Yeah, and the gay ones. Got to remember the gay people. Got to help the gay people, and the Indians, the Red Indians of Ukraine. We've got to help them. All right. So here he is. Here he is. Pre-code Mick. Pre-code Mick. I'm in the middle of a storm. It's like the old dark house, but without the old dark house. Oh, who else are we? What other people have been talking drivel? I mean, like I said, that if you missed this, Mick, Andrew Dixon, go and check him out. He's been fundraising for the Ukrainians. He hasn't even looked into it. He's just thought, oh, it's Red Nose Day. Let's give some money. Let's put a fucking stupid nose on and act like a wanker all day. Yeah, and watch the English episode of The Office where it's Red Nose Day. I mean, it's so true. It's just wankers like putting a red nose on, and all of a sudden they've got a sense of humour. You know, it's the worst sense of humour in the world, but it's so funny. Now give me 10 quid. Now fuck off. Get out. Don't even show your red nose before. I remember one of my managers once, and he had a red nose, but it was year 2 of red nose, and he had it on the front of his car because it was all the thing. Anyway, most people took the red nose off after Red Nose Day. Some people just never took it off. So I went up to the front of his car with a hammer and I smashed it off. It was just so annoying, and that was on the 2nd year. It's about 40 years old now, and it's just getting worse and worse. It is getting worse and worse, but I can't talk to you about that. There we are. I know. It was awful. Do you remember that terrible Doctor Who episode? What was it called? Dimensions in Time or something, and it had those CGI heads running around the table in that terrible EastEnders thing. I was horrified, you know, because I'd hoped that Doctor Who. I didn't watch it for years, you know. I thought during the Tom Baker era, I'd grown out of it because I'd gone on to real horror films, you know, so it didn't scare me and the plots weren't that brilliant. And I saw Blake 7, it had sexier people on it. So, you know, I thought, sod it. So I stopped watching it for years and years. And then Sylvester McCoy was on there, and I didn't like that one too much. I didn't like it, thought it was all wrong. But it weren't his fault, because I thought he was quite a good doctor, but he was just let down by a shitty script. But I thought this is the BBC trying to kill a programme, like they did with the BBC. I saw them trying to kill it by making it worse and worse, and then letting Andy Peters take over as producer. That was so shit. Anyway, but back to Doctor Who. So, you know, and it come back and it was totally different. I didn't like it. And I thought, oh, no, they're doing it for a different audience. Part of the joy of Doctor Who was how crap it was. And then they've made it crapper by putting shitty CGI on there, you know, real cheap CGI. And you think, no, just get someone to dress up as a worm like you used to, because it's much better. Or maybe I'm just being, you know, what's the word I'm after? You know, what's it for the past? You know what I mean? Yeah. Just let me have a sip of this beer. So, you know, I'd ask you questions, but I'm not going to bother because I've got to get this stuff off. And if there's anything else to tell you, oh no, not Clifford Fletcher. Oh yeah, pre-code, you'll be brilliant at that. No, I think you'll be a good live chatter, because I'll tell you why. Because I think your videos aren't very well thought out. I think you need audience participation. Like, remember that advert? What has a hazelnut in every bite? And the audience got to say, topic. Yeah. So that's you, I think. You're vaudeville. Got to be vaudeville. Oh, what shall I have? Shall I have a McFlurry? If Mr. Mayo's watching, he'll be thinking his mouth will be watery. He'll be going, oh, I want a McFlurry. But it's 2 blocks away, and it's a thin alleyway, and I can't get up there. But they've got, and it's a high crime black neighborhood. But they do really good They do really good fried chicken. Oh, see, now I'm confused. I don't know whether they're fried chicken or whether they have the McFlurry and have done with it. Because my wife, she's at a party tonight. And luckily they haven't invited me because it means I'd have to go home and get dressed up. But yeah, I'm not angry and bitter and twisted about it. I'm just thinking, no, this is good fun because I can go home, have a few drinks, and I can get high, get high, and mess around with the cats. And I might even come online a little bit drunker. Yeah, so that could be fun. But there's not a lot of news at the moment apart from Andrew Dixon, you know, and I can't keep a half an hour show going with Andrew Dixon talk. I mean, don't go thinking he's some kind of James Bond. He's not. He's every bit as dull as you'd expect him to be. He is. He is. And you know why? Because you don't get a job like that by being a maverick chancer. No, you've got to be Mr. Reliable, Mr. fucking number cruncher. Yeah. Pre-code mics. Which was it? Which stupid video? Was it another one where he's all confused about Paul McCartney or John Lennon? See, he's dying to say something about John Lennon, but he can't because he thinks Sean's watching. It's the same with John Heaton. I noticed the other day, and it upsets me to say this because it's like the mayor being corrupted. You know, you expect the mayor to say, "Oh yes, it's well, something's going to be done. We're going to polish the war memorial tomorrow," you know. But if he says, "Listen, mate, look, if I give the cleaning contract to Mr. Expensive, we'll put a new shed in your back garden, and Mrs. Mayor will be happy," and he says, "Yeah," and then you think, "Oh, I've been let down by the civic provincial council of our town, and we've been let down badly. It's terrible." Yeah. No, this is it. I mean, he hasn't got a chance against Kenny Michaels. Kenny Michaels is like a Duracell battery that's just been wearing down for 20 years. He's just like, honestly, oh, if you want, let's tune into things we said today. I'll tell you what, if we want, let's not tune into things we said today. It is the most boring show ever. No, hang on. What is the most boring show ever? Oh, Glenn Kellaway's dreadful. And so's that fucking Canadian twerp. What's his name? Larry Graves. Oh, God. Is he boring or what? Is he boring? Honestly, you want to be on some different medication, mate. You might be a bit more interesting. Anyway, I mustn't be too rude because I know, you know, mental illness can happen to any of us. And in some ways, it has happened to me partly, yeah. But, you know, life's shit sometimes, and sometimes it gets shitter, but sometimes you can have a real good day. You know what I mean? Ooh. Yeah, and who else was there? Bitch Rachel. She's not even well, you see, I've totally forgotten about her. Sometimes I accidentally, well, you know, because my thing runs into different videos when I'm falling asleep, and it's run into her, and that bloody moron, that fucking brain dead that she's talking to all the time. Oh, it's so boring. On it. Oh, yeah. And I think to myself, there's 30 people watching. There's 30 people ain't got anything better to do. Not watching my channel. Not that I'm better, you know what I mean? But I'm just thinking it don't make sense to me. That's why I put the railway video up, because I know there's a lot of idiots in England who are really into railways. And also, it was an important story to tell, as same as Broad Street. So anyway, I'm still thinking about my lovely, what's it at the moment? My lovely, what's it called? McFlurry. Yeah, so I can have Oreo, I can have caramel, and I can have Smarties. I like Smarties. Oh, hang on, no, it's M&M's. M&M's, delicious. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to your live streams. If you want to come on tonight, I'll come on there. How about that? Yeah. Yeah, you make it. You make it in about 3 hours' time. I'll be there. I'll be there. Not. I can't guarantee I won't be asleep because I've decided not to go to work tomorrow. The unit. Oh, don't. I'm back in. I'm back in. I lost you all for a minute there. I lost you all. I accidentally. What I was trying to do is get your message off of here because it was making me feel. I'm just going to get McFlurry, and you're making me think about people like that. Ooh, God's sakes! God's sakes, Michael. Oh, anyway, listen. Have we got any Beatle news at the moment? Apart from all the Beatles' childrens must be retards because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because of the drugs. Because of the drugs. It's all right. I'm back. Boom, 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 boom. I've still got. Listen, I've got to think about a McFlurry. So I've told you what I need to tell about Andrew Dixon and his genocidal maniac behaviour. So we will discuss a bit later on the most exciting points, and hopefully we can. Hopefully, on my way home or on my way to get a McFlurry, I will find out some more vinyl nerd gossip. Good stuff, I hope, because it's all been pretty boring recently, hasn't it? Oof. Same as, blah, blah, blah. Thank God there isn't any fresh Beatles shit at the moment. I'm just expecting that dweeb Julian Lennon to come out. Do you see how the camera lies all the time? Because every time I saw that, what's it called, pre-fungal bullshit being advertised about Julian Lennon, he's always standing there putting his arm round Sean Lennon as if to say Sean Lennon's got something to do with this, and he hasn't. So it's incorrect information. It's nothing to do with Sean Lennon. So go and fuck off, you horrible little dweeb, Julian Lennon. God, what an ugly freak that kid is. Anyway, gotta go, kids. Gotta go. Bye-bye.